Hey, what's up? This is Matt Dietz, and this is Agency Launch. This is a show where I tell you everything I've learned about running an insurance agency throughout a 17-year career. I will teach you stuff on staffing and sales and marketing systems and retention. I have an agency with 4,300 policies right now, and I only staff it with 2 people, and we grow every year. So I want to teach you my secrets on how I have been able to achieve that. So I tell you things that I've learned, and then I continue to learn. Okay, check it out. I started a texting community. It's not a group chat, okay? So I text out things every week, like tips and tricks and advice and resources and discounts to you. If you reply, it only comes directly to me. So you will have access to me. You can ask me questions. I sometimes will say, hey, what's on your mind? And you can shoot me a question. I send out video answers all the time. So I have a lot of fun in there, and I really enjoy connecting with you. So 208-213-8809. Get in my community. All right, so today I wanted to talk about something that is a real hot topic in my industry right now, and that is rate disruption or rate increases. It is something that every carrier is feeling right now, whether they're feeling it today or they're going to be feeling it within the next year. It's coming. The insurance companies are kind of the last to react throughout a recession, and we are. Some people say we're in one, some people say we're not, but I think you could agree that prices have gone up in just about everything over the past year. So call it what you want, but prices are increasing. And so insurance companies are kind of the last to that party, but it's coming. So we're seeing rate increases now. So is my competition and my other carriers that I write with. So I wanted to talk to you today about kind of how to handle a season like this. It's not fun. It's not necessarily easy, but it is part of what we have to handle. These things happen every, 6 to 8 years, big ones. There are some pockets of the country where insurance carriers are pulling out totally. Like, try and get a homeowner's policy in Florida right now. It's almost impossible. There are only a few carriers that are willing to offer that right now. So, but there are also some pockets in the country that see constant double-digit increases, like year over year. And so I wanted to talk about some of the things that I've done in my agency over the years to combat times like this. So there's no necessarily right or wrong way to do it. I just want to tell you the things I have done and what I have seen. So let's start with doing nothing. Like, that's an option, okay? Is it a great option? Probably not. There have been times where I've had some rate increases that have been maybe, 7 to 9%, and we didn't reach out to anybody. And there was very little disruption in my book. Okay, they're the ones, and there are people that call in, why did my rate go up? And we have that conversation. Okay, but for the most part, in times where the increases are bigger than normal, but not that big, like, there have been times where we haven't done anything. Okay, and so when it comes down to running a business like this, you're gonna have a very limited amount of attrition. You do have people that look at every transaction in their checking account, and they monitor everything, and they look at every bill. But in this day and age, there's a lot of automation that goes on. A lot of people have their stuff set on automatic payment. A lot of people have their homeowners policies paid through their mortgage, and this stuff people don't look at their payments for like years for stuff that's on auto pay, which is one of the reasons that the insurance companies reward you for going on auto pay through a checking account. Okay, so that's one way to go. You could do nothing. Now, if you're catching 20 to 30% increases across the board, that might be a little bit different. So how can you be proactive when it comes to things like this? Well, there was a period of time where we caught some bigger increases, and I was reaching out to everybody. So as your policies renewed, we were reaching out and I was sending personalized emails to everybody who was renewing over a certain percentage. And it was like, hey, Mr. Smith, I just want you to know. And it was a form letter, but I was able to switch in and out things that were specific to each account. So, hey, Mr. Smith, I do see that your autos are going up, and I would put in a dollar amount, $17 a month or something like that. And then I would tell them why. Well, because the cost of fixing cars and fixing people are increasing. I'm sure you've noticed that. Doctor bills are higher and it costs more to fix cars. Okay, that's why. And then I said, and then you go on and you say, the good news is we have a way to bring that down for you. And almost every account you have an opportunity to offer them a way to bring that down. And those are the things you want to identify. So I would pull up the account and I'd say, all right, what do we got here? All right, it looks like they pay monthly with a credit card. So I'd say, you know what, if you pay automatically through a checking account, it's going to be a 5% discount. You're not paperless. I can give you a discount there. You don't have our safe driving app. I can get you almost 10% right there. We can look at your deductibles. We can bring your deductibles up. And we can save you money there. We can bundle your insurance. I can lower you 15% if we write your house. So you want to, I think the best way to do it when you're having the conversation with a client about rates, you have to explain to them why, because people take their rates personally. Okay, they think that you reached in there and you raised their rate because you don't like them. No, it's not like that, but they do. They take it personally. They forget that insurance is about spreading the risk amongst thousands of people, millions of people. Okay, so you have to kind of de-escalate by saying, look, this is I do see you're catching an increase, and this is why. I just want to remind you that how insurance, you don't want to talk down to them. Say, just remember, you have access to $250,000 worth of insurance or whatever their liability limits are. And so you pay a little bit of money every month in comparison to $250,000 to have access to that money in the event of an accident. Now, bottom line is when claims cost more to pay, the insurance companies have to make sure they have enough money in the bank to take care of that. And so as costs go up, I like to say that our insurance premiums are based on other things. They're based on what it costs to fix cars and what it costs to fix people, okay? Or to rebuild homes or to fix homes. And those hard costs have increased significantly. And so once you kind of frame it that way, you kind of get your clients nodding along with you. You're like, yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, okay. And then you say, but good news is I'm going to try and get some of that back for you. You can invite them in if you'd like, or you can do it over the phone, or if you're being really proactive, you already have those things laid out in front of you. Okay. So you want to explain the why, and then you want to present a solution to lessen the pain. I mean, that's really the only way you can really do it when it comes to having the hard conversation with the clients, because there's nothing else you can do. You can't just lower their rate. You can't just lower their rate, and I think that's what they want. Or if you have another product that you can place them in, you can do a rewrite. You can look if you have other companies that you're allowed to write in and shop for them. Obviously, you would do that for them. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to look at some other companies for you, and let's see how we look. And then you go back to them with your results. Hey, we found another company. It's going to be lower for you. It's great. Or if you quote through other companies and they have the best rate where they're currently at, you can let them know. I guess, I don't know if it's good news or not, but the news is that you have the most competitive rate right now with all the companies that I can quote through. And I would kind of phrase it like that. Regardless of how many companies you can write through, with all the other companies that I can write through, you have the best rate right now. So I think we're looking good. Let's see what we can do to bring that down. Now, a personalized approach at a large book of business is challenging, okay? Like my book, I have a pretty large book, and there's only 3 of us. For me to get through my entire book of business, the amount of manpower that would take would be more than I can put out, okay? So you can do a blanket email. So I use MailChimp. You could use BombBomb. You could make a video. You could say, hey, everyone, so I want to give you a heads up, kind of an update, public service announcement based on what's going on in the world right now and your insurance premiums. Okay, there are some increases that are coming. Here's why, and I want to extend to you and offer to review. Here are some things you can do to bring your costs down. We're helping people maybe pay a little bit differently. Maybe there's some discounts that you're not taking advantage of, like a safe driving app. Maybe there's another line of coverage that we can put on there to give you a discount. Maybe we can change the way you pay, but there are ways that we can help lessen this pain, and that's why we're here. And you can blast that out to your entire book. Now, I've done that, and I've sent it out to I don't know what the number is. I got 1,300 people in my email list, and the number of opens that I get is maybe 30%. I might have 400 people open that, which is just under a third of my book. So 2/3 of my book won't even open the email. Okay, but you're still reaching 400 people, and I'll tell you, when I do that, very few people. I might get a dozen, maybe a dozen people will reach out and say, "Hey, Matt, I got your email. What can you do for me?" It's kind of shocking, honestly. I don't know if it's apathetic, or if they're fine with the increases, or maybe the email was just so good that they're like, "Hey, thanks, Matt. Thanks for explaining that to me. I won't bother you with anything." I know it's not that, but a lot of people, these increases, I swear, will come in and it won't be that big of a deal. Now, like I said, there are some pockets of the country where they're going to be feeling it a lot worse, than other places. 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60% increases are a big deal. And so maybe you can segment your book. Maybe you don't send that email out to everybody. Okay. The other thing that I did recently is I was able to sort my entire book by premium. So the clients that pay the most money, were number one, and then number two, and then so on, all the way down to how many clients I have. And so there was a period of time where we were segmenting the book by amount of premium coming in, and we would take care of them, and we would just kind of go in order, and we would set a plan and say, all right, here's our top 50 clients for premium. These are the ones, the commercial accounts, they're paying tens of thousands of dollars, a year. And maybe those are the ones that you reach out to, because those are the ones, you don't want to lose any big accounts, right? Again, you're going to have some churning. You're going to have some things happen where clients are going to leave and there's nothing you can do about it. But maybe you segment it that way. Maybe you segment the book on the largest increases that you have. So maybe every month you see your renewals come in and you're like, all right, here are the 14 accounts right now that are catching 30% or more increases. We're going to reach out to each one of them personally and try and save them, try and help them understand why this is happening. And the one thing that I like to try and do is let them know that this is not necessarily this is not tied to just my company. The whole industry is going to be feeling this. So I had a conversation with a client last week, and he was very thankful. He's like, "Matt, I just shopped my rates, and I can't justify staying with you. I don't want to leave you, but I can't justify it." And I said, "Hey, I understand." I said, "We've looked at everything that we can for you. Here are a few ways we can lower your premiums. It wasn't enough." I said, "But this is not just my company." I said, "The company that you are going to go with is going to catch an increase within the next year. I promise you. And when that happens, will you give me the opportunity to earn your business back?" And so that's the other way to do it too, is, as they're leaving, if they're leaving, you want to ask permission to reach out, because most people don't want to leave you, right? You've taken good care of them. You've been a good agent for them, but you want to have the opportunity to earn their business back. Whenever somebody leaves, I, in my heart, believe that at some point I'm going to earn their business back. So you've got to put them in a system that's going to reach out with them every 6 months and try and get them back. We call them defectors, right? Like insurance refugees, right? They're going somewhere else just for a little while until we can get them back. So maybe you sort your list differently. Maybe you want to reach out your top paying clients first, or the ones that are catching the most increases, and play defense that way. The last thing that I would tell you is that your clients are not the only ones that are shopping. Okay. The whole industry is going to be going through this cycle, and you want to be in the position where people can find you. So when customers from other companies are going through the same thing that your clients are going through, which is, "Oh my God, look at this increase, I'm going to shop," you want to be there. You want to be the one they call. Okay. So, you might want to consider upping your marketing, changing your marketing, putting more into marketing. Not necessarily an expense, but maybe this is the time you join a marketing group. Maybe this is the time you get in the community. Maybe this is the time you get in front of mortgage brokers. Maybe this is the time you double down on some of the things that have worked for you in the past. Okay. Also, your reviews for your Google, like where are people going to go when they shop their insurance? They're going to go right to Google. The more reviews you have, the more likely you are to be found on page 1 of Google. Okay, so you really need to be consistent with gathering Google reviews so that you can be found. So remember, this isn't all about just your clients and your book. There are many people that are going to be shopping from other companies, and you want to be found. Okay, so keep that in mind too. So those are my thoughts on how to kind of handle a tough rate cycle, which is what it feels like we're about to enter. So the last thing I would tell you too is, on homes, I think it's time to start looking at higher deductibles on homes. For the first 5 years of my career, like 500 was the standard. And then we jumped to 1,000. Maybe it's time we start looking at $2,500 deductibles for the standard, okay, for the baseline when people are coming in. Because ask your client, are you going to file a claim for anything less than $2,500? And if they say no and it's a hard no, like there's no reason they should carry anything less than that, okay, because they're just paying more to have that $1,000 deductible, even though they wouldn't file a claim for $1,300. Okay, so have that conversation too. All right, my name is Matt. This is Agency Launch. You can find me all over the place. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm very active in there. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at Dietz Agency, and also check out Agency Launch at agencylaunch.net. And send me a text, 208-213-8809, and hop in my texting community. Let's connect there. Thank you so much for listening. Keep up the good work.